It's go time. Let's do this. Yes. I'm excited today for some reason. Not sure why. Here we are. Hours. Oh, whoops. I can't type. Oh, that's even worse. So, morally, we're off to a great start. Physically, I could be doing better. Not to say that I'm sick or anything, it's just I can't type right now. Took me at least a minute to type that message. I'm just too hype right now, it seems. Can't stop me. I don't know. I feel really good right now. Might not sound it, but true. Let's do this. Ah! I have a good feeling about today. This could be the one. Bye. Second there, I almost thought. Fortunately not. Nope. Hmm. I have a funny idea. I wonder if. Uh, okay, this could be really funny. So, I'm sure as you've noticed, there's been a decent amount of dead air on these streams. So, I have now pulled up a small talk generator, which I think is gonna, yeah, generate questions, and I guess I'll just kind of answer them out into the void. Just, I guess to talk more. So, first question: what is something that I wish I enjoyed? It's an interesting question to start us off with. You know, part of me wants to say shiny hunting, but I do enjoy it. Although I guess it does drag a bit when you're doing resets for the same encounter for weeks now. I mean, once you find it, it's great. But something that I wish I enjoyed. I mean, there's something I could wish I could get into, which is probably like sports. Like, yeah, I can enjoy sports, but I don't really get into sports. I have like favorite teams or whatever, but it's like nothing really deeper than that. And really, it's just the teams that play in the city that I live closest to are my favorites. So it's like I like sports, but I don't necessarily say that I enjoy sports, if you know what I mean. All right, next question. If I were the eighth dwarf, what would my name be? Well, let's see. What are the dwarves right now? Happy, dopey, sleepy, grumpy, bashful, Doc. There's one more I'm missing. Sneezy? Did I say Sneezy? I said Sneezy. But, I mean, that's all of them. If I were the eighth dwarf, what would I be? Probably, like, not aloof. I don't think aloof is the right word for it. What's the right word? Like, there, but not really kind of there? No. Serious? That doesn't feel right. Grumpy, sleepy, dopey. I'd be... I want to say there, but that's definitely not a good name. Oh yeah, that's there. No. And aloofy, I don't think is a word. Um, what is the word I'm looking for? Thinky? I could be thinky. Always thinking, never talking. Honestly, I like that. I think if I were the it dwarf, I'd be called Thinky. That's funny. Alright, next question. Uh, let's see. What is the most illegal thing I've ever done? I mean, nothing major. No, like, really bad crimes or whatever. I mean, I might have, like, flung a bit of straw out the window paper, like the straw covering out the window, like a bit of littering maybe. I like to think I've lived a pretty tame life when it comes to that sort of stuff. Uh, fairly, fairly good rule follower, I'd like to think. Although, if it's illegal in the sense of like breaking school rules and stuff, I'll say I've been sent to the, not even the principal's office, the assistant principal's office once. I think it was back either pre-K or elementary school or whatever. And so, you have nap time or whatever, but like you're a bunch of 7, 8-year-old, or at least I was a 7, 8-year-old kid that never needed a nap. I could go the entire day without taking a nap. It was like, I thought nap time was a pointless 30 minutes of my day. Well, I just had to lie there silently with the lights off. So, being in a pre-K kindergarten classroom, when we did a lot of like coloring stuff, so there would always be little tiny bits of crayon on the floor, just like little small things. And so while the lights were off, and I had nothing better to do, I would take these little bits and draw on the floor. I know, crazy, crazy. But yeah, and then one day, I got caught, I guess. I got sent to the assistant principal's office. Personally, I think it was a bit of an overreaction on their part. Because, like, well, they tried to guilt me. They said, "Do you know how hard that your teacher works to keep her room clean?" And in my mind, of course, being 6, 7 years old, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize all this." I was like, the teacher is not getting on the floor to clean faint lines of crayon. If anything, it's the janitor. But it's like, even then, I doubt the janitor is actually, like, putting that much effort into it. Of course, I don't know for sure. But it's like, I highly doubt it was as big a deal as they made it seem to the 8-year-old, 7-year-old me. So I guess that is technically the most illegal thing I've ever done. Alright, let's see what's next. Next question. Do I think of myself as a good leader? Um, under certain circumstances. So I can direct people well enough. Like, I feel like I'm decent at assessing what is everyone's like strength, weakness, how to allocate that among the tasks that we need to do. I would say I'm definitely not as great at handling conflict. I mean, as long as everyone gets along, yeah, sure, I'm a good leader. I can make decisions. They're like, screw it, we need to do this. Or keep going, we need to get this done. Like, sort of stuff. So, yeah. So, overall, 6 out of 10 leader. Do I look to the future more with anticipation or anxiety? Honestly, probably anticipation, which I feel like is probably the rarer of the two answers. I like to think I'm a pretty optimistic guy. Always trying to look on the bright side of things. So kind of as a result of that, obviously it's more anticipation of the chances and the opportunities I could take, the possible lives I could live, could go everywhere. Like, sure, it could be bad, but it could also be amazing. It's like, why worry myself saying my life is going to suck when I say, or like my life could suck when I say my life could be amazing, you know? I think it's just a much healthier mindset to have. So yeah, I look to the future with anticipation. Next question. If I got a tattoo, what would you get and where would you put it? If I got a tattoo, honestly, it'd probably be like a small little Pokeball, I guess. Like just a circle with a line through the middle, not like even colored or anything. Just a symbol. Yeah, I guess. And where would I put it? Maybe on the inside of my wrist. Just a small little thing right there. 'Cause, I mean, like it can be noticeable, but not like super noticeable. Like if someone happens to see it and ask about it, I'll tell them, but it's not like I want to go around like flaunting it or whatever. So yeah, probably a Pokeball on my wrist. Next question. Let's see. What's something my parents did when I was growing up that I didn't realize was weird until years later? Hmm. See, I'd like to think I've kind of had a pretty normal life, like out of the ordinary things. I don't really, nothing really I can like think of off the top of my head. I mean, maybe weird's not the question I want to answer. It's like out of the ordinary. I mean, to that, I guess I can kind of say we went to Disney World a lot, like multiple times a year, which I feel like most families go maybe once or twice, like with children and stuff. So it's like out of the ordinary. Yes, we went to Disney World a lot more often than the average family and stuff. So I mean, I guess I should kind of say like that was kind of quote unquote weird because it was just kind of such a normal experience for us. Whereas for someone else, it could be like once in a lifetime sort of thing. So with us, it happens twice a year. So it was like nothing. Not that it wasn't special, but it's like nothing out of the ordinary, I guess. Yeah, that was a weird question. What's a strange food combination? What strange food combination do I love? I'm trying to think. My parents used to make this meal. I think it was like strips of beef steak. So it's such like strips of steak with like lettuce. It was just kind of like that in a bowl with some sauce. It was weird. I didn't really like it that much, but it became tolerable after I put mustard on it. And I guess this is kind of a hot take. Mustard is the best condiment. So really, mustard kind of goes with anything. And yellow mustard, not Dijon or honey or whatever, any of the other stuff. Yellow mustard is the best condiment. So it's the strange food combination, I guess, is strips of steak with cabbage, lettuce, something, and yellow mustard with some sort of sauce. Yeah, that was weird. But mustard. Mustard is underrated. Overhated. Do I have more or less friends of the opposite gender? I, being a dude, a guy, a male, would say that I have more friends that are female than male. And my reasoning for this has always been that I find girls tend to be more pleasurable to hang out with. It's not so much testosterone. Typical like bro stuff kind of is annoying to me. Girls don't really have any of that. And of course, being a guy in a group of girls tends to mean I can watch their squabbles pan out while I could kind of sit back, not take a side, feign ignorance if it's like girl stuff. So it's more entertaining, more fun for me to be the singular, or maybe not even singular, the guy of a few guys in a group of mostly girls. And I mean, I'm not gay or whatever, so it's like, it's not like that. Not that I had anything against that. It's just, that's how I prefer to hang out. Those are the tend to be the type of people I prefer hanging out with. A little more mellow, not as much like, it wouldn't be so fun if we like fought each other or whatever. Like, no, let's just like sit and chat, do some puzzles, games, and stuff. And the next question, what would my what would be my signature if I were a serial killer? It's like, I guess if I were a serial killer, what would I do to let the police know that I was the one that killed the people? This is a fun one. Never really thought about that. I guess it's a good thing. Oh, for a second I thought that was a shiny. If I were a serial killer, I mean, I'd have to imagine I'd be going at it with a knife. Or I would imagine that I would be using a knife over anything else. Maybe it's like, I stick my knife into like the nearest wall and kind of cut the wall. Like dip the knife in blood, stab the wall, and like cut down the wall, leaving like this hole, dripping with blood or whatever. I think that'd be kind of intimidating. Like, yeah, I just killed this person. Now I'm putting a hole in their wall. You can't stop me. I don't know. Maybe I'd carve in a letter that's like just a random letter. It has no meaning at all. What the people will think, the police will think he's leaving a code of some sorts. It's like, no, we're just distracting you, and it's working. So yeah, I guess that would be carving a letter into the wall with blood on a knife. Has a friend ever broken up with you? I mean, I've definitely had falling outs with friends, or at least people that I thought were friends. Well, I guess that's kind of a point. And I'll say the one that comes to my mind immediately was, I mean, we just kind of disagreed. We were both in this club. I was technically their leader. Like, it was kind of a pyramid structure. We had the one leader at the top, and the second in commands, and the third in commands, and then kind of like general membership. I was in the second in command tier, but they were in the third in command tier, directly under me specifically. And they were kind of, I don't want to say forcing their way up into like the second position, but they were like, acting like they were a second level command position when they were a third command position, level command position. And they had strong opinions that most of the second level leaders did not agree with, but a decent amount of the third level leaders did. So their strong opinions caused quite a bit of, I guess, dissent in the club leadership, at least. I'm not sure general members really found out about this stuff, but it's There's like, after we fought over those opinions, I mean, we still had to be cordial to each other. We still had to work with each other. But before that, we were friends, and after that, we were not friends. That much was very clear. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of a breakup. We had a fight, and we stopped being friends. I mean, generally, besides like the general high school's over, I was only being friends with you because we were in the same groups together, sort of stuff. Nothing really, I don't think. Okay, let's. If I was on vacation and had to choose between a good meal and a bad hotel, or a bad meal and a good hotel, what would I prefer? Definitely a bad meal and a good hotel. I mean, bad meal is kind of subjective. Like you could say McDonald's is a bad meal. I mean, yeah, sure, it's unhealthy for you, but is it like it's not disgusting? If the bad meal was like raw squid, then okay, maybe. But if it's just like a shitty burger, I'm fine with eating just plain loaves of bread. So it's like my bar for a bad meal is fairly low. I mean, I figure like I could always go the next morning to McDonald's, like just to get something decent in me. So it's like a bad meal affects me more temporarily than a bad hotel would. See, I've stayed in a bad hotel before. Honestly, it's more tiring than like sleeping in a car. Like it's you're worried. Oh, is the lock on the door gonna hold? Why are my sheets wet? What is that stuff in the bathroom? It's like a bad hotel to me is more stressful than a bad meal. So I'd rather just take the bad meal because I can suck it up and eat it, than sleep in a nice bed with the good hotel and clean stuff. So yeah. What would I like to be able to create with my own hands? I think I'm gonna take this question more like just artistically in general, rather than like something physical that I like hold. It's like using my own hand, my own mind, I guess, to create music. I think would be the thing I would want. Yeah, just because I mean I've always liked music. I'm definitely the most musically inclined in my entire family, like extended and all. I played two instruments. It's like I would like to be able to write music. I mean, obviously I could put notes on a page, but like more than that, even like write lyrics and stuff if I wanted to make songs. So I guess that's what I would say for creating with my own hands. Okay, if I could wake up tomorrow and gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? One quality or ability? I'm gonna try to stick to like more realistic answers, not like the ability to fly or teleport or whatever. It's like there's one quality. Honestly, I could wake up tomorrow and my hair was just perfect. I think I'd pick that. Just I don't have to deal with brushing it, like putting down I have a really bad cowlick. Like, there's always one part of my hair that is sticking straight up. And it's like, come on, really? So if I could just wake up every morning, have it be perfect, like never have to get a haircut again just because it's always perfect, or even like after getting a haircut, it still looks good. Like I had a not great haircut. My last haircut was not great. I had to wear a hat for a few days because I wanted it to grow out a bit more before like wearing it in public. Honestly, the ability to perfect like my hairstyle, perfect hair, I guess. Yeah. Next question. Okay. For me, what would be a good death? This is a fun one. How would I want to die? I mean, definitely as like a martyr in like a blaze of glory. That sounds kind of awesome. It's like I don't think I would like do something particularly dangerous and like that got me killed. Well, at least like physically dangerous, like jumping off a cliff into a body of water, like exploring the Himalayas or something. Like not like that. It'd probably be like political activism, fighting for what I believe in, and someone walks up and shoots me because they disagree. Like that'd be a good way to go, I think. Dying for my message or my cause. Okay, what's my zodiac sign? Does it mean anything to me? I am a Virgo. Does my zodiac sign mean anything to me? Not really. I don't tend to believe in that sort of stuff. I mean, sometimes I'll read the horoscopes or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess that does make sense. It's like that's all just Barnum effect. Like, vague enough statements that anyone could read them and believe. Yeah, that's true about me. I don't put much stock into zodiac signs and all that stuff. Let's see. What things do I check at night before going to bed? First thing is like locked doors. I was really paranoid about like forgetting to lock my doors on that one night and someone like sneaks into my house or whatever. So I have to double, triple check locked doors every night. I try to check to like make sure my phone is plugged in or that I brushed my teeth and stuff, but sometimes I fall asleep just while I'm laying on my bed before I even like get into bed. So sometimes it's hard to do. But locked doors, that's the big thing. I always check. Okay, this is an interesting one, I think. Are you more attracted to someone like yourself or opposite? For me, I would definitely say like myself. Being a more introverted, stay at home type person, I mean, I would probably prefer to have a girlfriend that's like more inclined to want to stay in for the night, like watch a movie, or like play a game, or read a book, whatever, rather than like go out partying. And I mean, obviously, there's a bit of like leeway there. Like I'm willing occasionally, every once in a while, to like go out on the town or whatever. But I think most nights I would definitely prefer to stay in. than go out. So definitely be more attracted to someone like me. Well, what were you self-conscious about as a child that you've grown out of, and what haven't I grown out of? I can think of something I haven't grown out of, but something that I did grow out of. Uh, I can't really think of anything like I've grown out of, specifically just self-conscious stuff. So it's not really like I would hide, like I wasn't really shy, I don't think. I mean, I say one thing, I guess that I'm still self-conscious about is that I'm pretty hairy. Uh, Hair everywhere, all the way down my arms, my chest and stuff. I'd say it's probably 7th or 8th grade. And this girl, like, that I had just been introduced to, we weren't even like friends. I didn't like her or anything. She pointed out how hairy my legs were, and basically since then I've worn nothing but sweatpants and jeans. And I mean, I'm friends with that girl now, so it's like, it's not like she hurt me deep down or anything, but the only pair of shorts I think I own are my swim shorts. Because swim pants doesn't sound right. I don't think I could ever do that. That's just weird. But otherwise, jeans, sweatpants all the way. I don't even remember the last time I put on like a normal pair of shorts. So I guess that's something I'm still kind of self-conscious about. It's how hairy I am, specifically like my legs. Ooh, if I could give all human beings one virtue, which would I choose? Are they like talking about, I'm just gonna say, like a general positive quality? I'd probably pick understanding. Because, like, people are allowed to disagree, they're allowed to fight. That's how kind of how we move forward, fighting, getting it out of our systems. I think understanding is probably the best thing. It's not, oh, we have differing opinions, we cannot coexist. It's, we have different opinions, let's try to figure out why that is and how we can work together. And if all else fails, then okay, we might have to fight. But I think understanding is kind of what's gone wrong. People have stopped listening to each other, stopped trying to understand each other, and have focused solely on themselves nowadays. It's, it's, it's unfortunate, I think. So yeah, because that's kind of the virtue I want, everyone being understanding. If I could master one instrument, what would it be? Well, I did mention earlier that I played 2 instruments. Uh, those 2 instruments happen to be tuba and trombone. Originally played tuba, picked up trombone 11th grade. I mean, if I had to pick the master one, it'd probably be the tuba, just because I've always played it for so long. Although I guess if I take this opportunity just to like gain the powers over any instrument, I'd probably pick either guitar or piano. Probably guitar. I feel like piano's kind of really stereotypical. And I mean, guitar is also stereotypical, but I think I'd like playing the guitar more. So I'll go with the guitar. Okay, which American landmark would I most like to see? Let's think of American landmarks. Like all the stuff in DC. I've been to DC, I've been to New York. It's like Statue of Liberty, Washington Monument, like that's out. What else is it? The St. Louis Arch? I don't, no, I probably wouldn't say that. Mount Rushmore, maybe. Probably like the Grand Canyon, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'd go with the Grand Canyon just because that's kind of a big deal. I've heard good things about the Grand Canyon. It looks beautiful just from the videos and pictures I've seen, so to go see it in real IRL, I think that'd be pretty cool. But I'd have to pick the Grand Canyon as the American landmark I would most like to see. Okay, let's see. If you were able to what if you were able to life to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60? I don't I'm gonna skip this question because it's confusing. Okay. What is a controversial belief of mine? I think my most controversial take is the letter C is just the most useless letter. Everything C can be done by a different letter. Like, what does C do? C makes a sound. Well, just get S to do that. C makes a cuss sound. Just get K to do that. I think the only unique thing C does is CH. Ch, ch. But like even then, I don't think it'd be that hard to switch that ch. CH just KH. And 25 letters, it just feels much better than 26 letters. A, B, E, D, E, F, G. Like, I don't know. C is useless. Which, I mean, I guess is ironic considering my name features two C's fairly prominently. But no, if I could get rid of the letter C, I would. Have I ever been in a car accident? Yes, I have. Nothing major. Uh, just like fender bender stuff. I guess the most quote unquote severe car accident I was in. I was driving home from school with my mom, who is a teacher, and she was running some charity event, and it had just finished, and we were collecting boxes of cereal. So it had just finished. We had just finished loading a lot of boxes of cereal into the back of into the trunk of the car. And so we pull out of the school, and we pull up to the light that's like just down the road, like getting off the road that goes to the school onto the main road. And we pull up, we get ready to turn right. So we pull up, and the car behind us thinks that we're about to speed forward. So they were on their phone, weren't paying attention. They move up to like get ready to merge into the right lane, and we have not merged, but they thought we did. So they ram into the back of us and well, maybe not destroys, but definitely damages a number of those cereal boxes that we had just loaded into the trunk of our car. And the trunk of our car, like, it was a pretty intense, well, again, fender bender, intense fender bender, however intense those can be. Like, the car was dented in completely. We were definitely on the receiving end because they were, I think, in like an SUV, and we were just in this little Honda Clarity. So it's, I mean, it's a sedan. It's not a big car. Well, yeah, they had like this SUV, I think, and it was like you had to take the car to the shop. Like the car itself was a particularly easy fix. Like it wasn't that hard, but we still had to wait months before we could get the car back because inside of our car we had this little pane of glass in between the sitting area and the trunk. And it's like it's not the back windshield that you like see through the mirror and stuff. Like no, it's a piece of glass that goes behind the seats, but it like that lets you to see into the trunk from the back of the sedan, which like doesn't normally allow you to do that. And it took months for this one piece of glass to get, I guess, shipped to where we were. So we didn't have that car for months, just because we were waiting on one singular piece of glass to be installed. And yeah, so yes, I have been in a car accident before. Yeah, this is an interesting question. What is my middle name? Do I like it? When was the last time I used it? Uh, I'm not gonna say my middle name, but that's been mostly a me thing for many years. Very few people know my middle name because I've kind of kept it from them. I do like it though. Like, I have nothing against my middle name. It's just, I would prefer it if people really only use my actual name. But last time it was used in general, it's probably just when my parents are yelling at me or whatever. Like, if I ever used it, not like to identify myself, outside of like writing it on college application or like finance stuff. Like, I don't think I've ever used my middle name. What always seems to come up when my family is trying to embarrass me? Okay, this is the story. There's two stories I can think of, maybe three, but I'll start with the first one. So you're a little kid. You don't want to sleep in. You're up at 6 a.m. bouncing on your bed and whatever. So it's like, I'm doing the little kid things. And I guess I don't know why, but we stayed up late one night, later than we normally do as like a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old. So we go to bed, we wake up the next morning. I get up, and my grandparents are in town. My grandparents sleep very late, like it's 11 o'clock before they're even coming out of their rooms. And this was a few years ago, so it's a bit tuned back, maybe 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock before they start coming out. But of course, being the 5-year-old, I'm always up at 6. And yeah, so we were out late, I was tired. So this morning, I actually end up sleeping in. So I wake up, it's 8 o'clock. I know, heaven forbid. Me, being the little 6-year-old I was, I just wasted 2 whole hours of my day sleeping, of all things. It's such a waste of time. So, I get up, I go out, and I see my grandparents are already awake. So I guess they ask, "What time is it?" And I say, "It's 8 o'clock." And then I bust into tears. I'm crying because I've missed. Because I woke up. I slept in, which is unusual, I guess you could say. I guess that's the first story. The second story is it's my birthday. Like, my family has gathered, and I think it was a few years after. I probably was like 9 at this point. Like my ninth birthday, maybe. And we've all like gathered around a cake, and I guess I must have been in a patriotic mood or whatever, because I asked to sing the Star Spangled Banner instead of the happy birthday. And I mean, of course, my family's not going to say, no, we have to sing happy birthday. So they're all quiet, and I start us out. And then I start saying the Pledge of Allegiance, which is, if you didn't know, not the Star Spangled Banner. So that one gets brought up a lot. The time I recited the Pledge of Allegiance for my birthday instead of happy birthday. And then I guess the last kind of quote embarrassing story is I'm pretty sure I was even younger than the crying at 8 o'clock story. And we're at Disney World. I'm young enough that I'm in a stroller at this point. So we just spent a long day at Magic Kingdom. But it's not done yet because we have dinner at one of the resorts that's like by the Magic Kingdom. So I mean, I'm already very tired from this day. Just because, it's Disney World. As a toddler, you're kind of everywhere doing that stuff. We're walking to the place, and I'm in my stroller, and I'm already starting to fall asleep at this point. Like, I'm nodding in and out as I get loaded into the car and we drive to the resort. And I mean, it's dark outside, so it's probably like 10 o'clock, which is very late for a 4-year-old. Um, but yeah, so I mean, we get to dinner, and I'm struggling to stay awake. And so it's the classic eyes drooping, head falls down, perk up, and it's like going again and again. And eventually it just gets to be too much, and I fall face first into my plate. So that's another one that gets brought up often. I I don't remember what happened after that. Or at least I don't remember the story of what happened after that. I probably started crying or whatever. But yeah, I was so tired that I fell asleep onto my plate. That's another embarrassing story. Um, Trying to find a good question. Have I ever traveled on my own? Yes, I have. Although my first time, my only time, was fairly recently. Although it was still a bit hectic. Not for any bad reasons or whatever. So, as I said earlier, this is probably the last question. I'll finish this up and then we'll call it there. So, as I said earlier, my mom was a teacher, and so she decided to run an educational trip this year. So we go to Costa Rica for a week. It was great, awesome, amazing fun. And probably months. Like, I didn't know I was going on this trip till a few weeks before because of the amount of people going on the trip was kind of in flux, and it's like it depended on all that stuff. But I didn't know I was going on this trip till a few weeks before. But before that, I had opened up like a spectators. I got a spectators pass for NASC in New Orleans that year, or this year technically. So we're in Costa Rica for a week. We get back that Friday, and I immediately turn around and leave Saturday morning. Like, we get back 6, 7 o'clock, and that's just when we land. We still have to go back through customs and in the airport. So we're not leaving the airport till 8-ish. We get home 9-ish. So I throw my stuff in the laundry because I need to pack for the like continuing weekend, the next 3 days, or whatever. So I throw my laundry in, go to bed, wake up in the morning, finish my laundry, pack all up, and now I'm back off to the airport by myself now, traveling to New Orleans, which I had never been to before, by myself to go to the Pokemon tournament. Right, despite the day previously being in South America, not South America, in Costa Rica, which is pretty decent, far away from New Orleans. That's my first solo travel experience. Just kind of hectic, going from Costa Rica to my home immediately by myself to New Orleans. And my mom joined me later that day, so it was really just getting to New Orleans that was the solo part. So, yeah, that's kind of my traveling solo experience. And with that, we've entered our last encounter of the night. Can we get it? No. Oh, well. I think this was a good stream. I'm glad I came up with that whole small talk question generator thing, just to get me talking. I'm normally pretty quiet on these things. But yeah, I won't be live. I'll probably be alive again Wednesday, Thursday. Probably continuing the Cramorant run. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.